Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back again for another indie comic review, and in this indie comic review I'll be covering the Street Fighter Swimsuit Special of 2023 and also the Street Fighter Omega 2023. Now, I've heard some people complain about the Street Fighter Omega, but I think their complaints are completely unwarranted. I'll now move to covering the first thing, to which in this video you'll actually get a rating from me myself, without any pre-written stuff. Why? Because in both of these particular issues, we do have a lot of illustrations, but not really like story content. So the only content that will be rated in this will be the cover for both of them, and also the internal art from if they're covers or if they're anything else, or an overall rating review in regards to the art. So, starting with the swimsuit special, it looks like we have Chun-Li on front, along with, I think that's Cammy with her. It's been ages since I've gotten to know the characters, especially all of the characters, and it's also been a long time since I've actually played the Street Fighter games. Would something like this help me get into the Street Fighter games once again? Probably, along with the Mortal Kombat. So for the cover, I give it an 8 out of 10. So now it's time to move into the internal art, to which in this, we're going to have a look at every page which is given to us. Not just pages at the beginning, not pages at the middle, not pages at the end. We're going to go all the way through with this, and do the same with Street Fighter Omega. So as we move into the beginning, we get a bit of a context as to which artists are on which character, or working on which character. And we also get a bit of a preview as to some of the characters that are going to make an appearance in this. So we start off with a little bit of surfing from some of the Street Fighter babes, to a little bit of beach fun, moving into a little bit more, and I think this might be a new character, or a character that I might not know very well. Then some pool action along by the sea, some more pool action by the sea. Of course, we cannot forget some of the beach volleyball. Of course, some of the things that are taking place near some waterfalls and the sandcastles. Catching up with very many of the cast members that make up Street Fighter. Also having a bit of a look of some things that are happening on the sea. Well, that one makes things very simple for us. The character of Karen, plus a couple of others, make an appearance. Having a look of some of the things happening at night to the next morning. And as we slowly draw towards the end. And last but not least, at the very end of the issue, of course, we get the heads up for the coming soon of Street Fighter Omega, and also some of the other Capcom books that are done. Some awesome covers. I definitely like that Street Fighter 2 one. And of course, good old Sagat. For the internal art in this, I give it an 8.5 out of 10. And I really enjoyed seeing what was shared here. Now it's time to move into Street Fighter Omega. So, moving into Street Fighter Omega for the cover. What do I rate this cover? I'd say a 8 out of 10, because there considering that there are a number of variant covers in this, I feel that this cover works really well to show in relation to many of the covers that they do share in this. Now it's time to have a look at the internal art, which I'll rate afterwards. Of course, with this we get a bit of a history from 0 to Omega, and an indication of how many of these 24 issue series is connected to many one-shots and plus whatever else for 2023. If I were to guess, I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to be maybe bringing out a bit of an omnibus, like another Street Fighter omnibus, and this is basically a bit of a promotion to get the audience sort of hyped up for it. So let's move into the many of the issue covers that they're going to be sharing with us in this Street Fighter Omega. So first things first, we get to catch up with Ryu, who's up against a bit of an unknown warrior. Of course, we get Guile and Charlie in the next page. We catch up with some other characters, and that almost looks like a bit of a Mecha Zangief against a Mecha Akuma. Cool. I'd want to read that. Catching up with a little bit of Cammy, and also some of the other characters connected to the Street Fighter universe. Of course, we get the return of Fei Long, plus a couple of others who I don't quite know. Can't forget Zangief, and it looks like we've got a little bit of a JoJo's reference theme in regards to the next page. Now, this is something I'd really want to read, and that's the Ninja Wars in Street Fighter Omega. Then we move to the Fallen Prince, whoever the hell he is, meeting up with some more of the characters. It almost looks like they might want to maybe bring some Darkstalkers in. And I must admit, this cover here definitely gives me like real full-on manga anime, proper manga anime vibes, especially by the appearance of the character. He reminds me of someone from either Hunter x Hunter or something else. Of course, we meet up with the character of Cody, the return of Sagat and Vega and Balrog, which is really nice to see. And it's nice to see that they're still the bad guys. Good old Bison, of course, one of the top bad guys. Now, this is the thing that I actually quite like at the end of this, because it gives us initial information around each of the covers. And yes, each cover does actually connect to a storyline in this series. And this is why I seem to think that they might be bringing out a bit of an omnibus, maybe around this particular series. Here's some more from the other pages. And as we start to move towards the end, we get to see what's coming out quite shortly. And one of the next characters who'll probably be getting a comic, being the character of Kimberly, who I know absolutely nothing about. So for the internal art, I'd be willing to give it an 8.5 out of 10. And I really enjoy the last bit of information towards the end about each of the covers and the stories that they address, and also the characters that appear in them. So until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.